What's up, Flick Connection? This is Darren, and unfortunately, I've got some bad news for Mad Max fans. So the follow-up to Mad Max Fury Road from 2015, which was one of my favorite movies in recent memory, is called Mad Max The Wasteland, and apparently they're ready to begin production. George Miller, the director, who also writes these films and heads up the production, has basically said they're done with the writing process, they're ready to start production. But as of right now, we've got no plot summary, which is fine. We've got no potential release date, which is also okay, but you would expect to see that sometime soon. But there's also really no cast. Now, Tom Hardy has signed on for 2 more films in the series, so we should get a full trilogy, and we probably will. But unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be a delay on the release of The Wasteland, or at least a delay on the production. And that's because George Miller and friends are suing Warner Brothers. Now, what's going on? Apparently, it's over a $7 million dispute in the contract where Miller's production company was supposed to get a $7 million bonus if the film hit a certain mark, minus, production cost and marketing and all of that. And they say they hit it. Warner Brothers calculates the cost to be otherwise, whereas Miller's production company says that the extra costs are because of things Warner Brothers initiated and wanted to do that actually held up the production, and that it should not be factored into their calculations. So it's basically just a simple math dispute, but to me it sounds like Warner Brothers is trying to slick their way out of $7 million on a movie that made them a ton of money. They're essentially going to hold up production on a movie that's going to make them even more money. Mad Max did so well in theaters, it did way better than anybody predicted. It did even better once it was released on DVD because more people saw it. So the new series of Mad Max movies has a huge following, huge fan base. It's huge in cosplay. It's one of those movies everyone is going to go see in the theater. But Warner Brothers is deciding to sort of screw around and cause problems, is what it sounds like. I'm siding with George Miller because I like his work. And the $7 million figure, it sounds like something Warner Brothers could just pony up for, and they could just basically take it into consideration that, hey, this is just part of the cost. Even if they feel like they don't really owe it, feels like they could just pony up for it and factor it into part of their expenses for The Wasteland, which is a movie that will make them a ton of money. Even if somehow they don't do a good job with it, which I don't think is possible. I think it's going to be fantastic. Even if it's not as good as Fury Road, it's still going to be amazing. But even if it's not very good, everyone's going to rush out to go see this movie. This is going to be a huge opening weekend whenever it finally comes out. But right now, we're looking at it being maybe at least 2 years. This movie will probably not be out in the summer of 2018. I'll be surprised if we see it in 2019, unless it's like late in the year. That's kind of what I'm predicting now because, litigation can take a while. Even if it doesn't go very far, you're looking at months and months of just sort of lawyers sort of sliding notes back and forth to one another just to sort of get some sort of deal closed where both parties are happy. So that's where you're at with that movie. I'm bummed about it. I've been basically waiting to see the sequel since the credits rolled in the theater or the first time I saw Fury Road. So this is a bummer for me. Wanted to share it with you guys, keep you guys up to date on this. I'm going to be tracking this movie in the future because I want to know what's happening with it. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm doing that with some other films as well. So definitely subscribe if you like that type of content. Likes are always appreciated, but thanks for watching, and you will see me next time.